Did you know that there are over 2 million cooling towers across North America working to provide efficient heat dissipation in diverse settings, whether it's in the industry or even in residential buildings? Here at McGill, we have over 20 cooling towers. One of them is for the McConnell engineering building. And I'd like us to take a closer look at the heat exchange surface that's in contact with the cooling water. This heat exchange surface is typically made of copper due to its desired properties. And if it's left unprotected, it corrodes with time. Now, why is this problematic? Well, if it corrodes, then the equipment performance and lifespan is reduced, which increases the maintenance burden, both economic and if, for instance, the research depends on it, then the productivity is impaired if the building has to shut down for maintenance. Is there currently a solution to this problem? Fortunately, there is. Currently in the industry, typically molecules called azoles are used to form a protective barrier that inhibits the corrosion. However, so why am I seeking to replace these molecules if they're already effective? That's because they are not environmentally friendly, they persist in the environment, and they are toxic to aquatic life. So the goal is to find a green or a greener molecule to replace these azoles, a molecule that's more biodegradable and less toxic. So my master's research in collaboration with an industrial company, TGWT, we identified over 10 molecules. We screened these in the lab. The setup is simple, 3 electrode conventional corrosion cell consisting of the simulated cooling water, the copper sample, and the other components that are necessary to collect electrochemical data. This data I then analyze to calculate the corrosion inhibition efficiency, and I compare this parameter across the different candidates to determine which one is most promising. What did the results reveal? Compared to azoles, which had about 70% efficiency, I identified a biopolymer, this is how I describe it for now, which was only 10% less effective, and I confirmed that it was compatible with other common additives used in the cooling water, such as an antiscalant, a biocide, and both the antiscalant and the biocide. So what's next in terms of replacing the azoles? Are my results enough? My results were only done short term, so there's still questions that need to be addressed before this can transition into pilot experiments and eventually be used in cooling towers. For instance, the long-term performance at different temperatures and different flow conditions is of interest. We're also interested in understanding how the inhibitor interacts with the copper surface, and if the inhibitor does not pass these tests, then we can continue screening other molecules. We only had the time to screen 10, but we can continue exploring other molecules. Thank you very much.